All right, let's see. Is it going to be a castle ending? Are we going to have some crazy things happening? And it's the triple Alpha 7-7.
Most eliminations, 18, 18, and 13. And then guess what? When we go to top players, yeah, I'm not surprised to see that there.
Nice
Revo
damage.
actually, I'm intrigued by that because Revo is being able to edge off Carrillo. And as I mentioned yesterday, there's players, yes, they might be in the same team, but they like to be competitive with each other. They do like those bragging rights.
Sure.
So,
and 5 headshots for Mythic. That is crazy to see. Yeah. And knockouts too, also triple 7-7.
Yeah, you know, it's just Alpha 7 just dominating so far. Can they continue on with this kind of performances? And Nate Illems, guess what? We do get one of the twins there, Luxy, with at least 2. And nobody has been able to surpass Jen Foss with that longest elimination of 363.
73 meters longer than Race. That is just crazy. It's obviously super hard to get. Oh my God, we're gonna get super far east for this one. Actually, not too bad. As you see on your screen here, there's a lot of teams already dropping. We do have a few teams on that western side that's gonna have to make a rotation, but it's gonna be easy and dandy for everyone here. Again, thanks to Sony Xperia for being our official smartphone partner here at the PMWI PUBG Mobile World Invitational here at Gamers8 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Amazing to have you guys on board. And Nick McGalaxy on screen. They're going to be sharing this combo. Not going to be a lot of loot for them. And they are going to be outside of Dino Park, just on the east side. Nobody is in there, so they could go loot that. A lot of teams on that western side is in there.
Yeah, a lot of teams with great skins, too. Keep an eye out for the PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time. And you can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI. And while you're at it, don't forget, watch PMWI together in-game esports center with your friends to win some PMWI special sets.
Never alone on screen here for Team Falcons with a fantastic win just last one. As you see on your right side, rewards ranking is updated. $60,000 for Alpha 7, 48 for SG, and 42 for Falcons now that they're able to put a chicken dinner on the board there. That's amazing to see. But 101 points, 30 points. Falcon actually closed the gap a little bit from the 37 we saw before. So 30 points now down to second place. But the rest is actually really close as well. Falcons, down Monkey, SG from 50 points up to 66, 16 points difference there, and 21 up to Falcons. A lot of teams have a huge opportunity just with one game. One good game could potentially put you into the top 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we kind of see what happened in last week where it came down to the final match, whether it was going to be Team Falcons or PMWI Esports. And I'm hoping that this is going to happen here, whether it's Team Falcons or whoever it might be, Alpha 7. I am a little bit biased, because Alpha 7, but Team Falcons has been performing really, really well, and hopefully they will continue to perform like that. That way, Maxman doesn't end up losing his eyebrows. He really, really loves him. So I'm hoping, even though I secretly want it to happen, I'm hoping it doesn't happen.
You know, the worst thing you can do is shave one eyebrow, because it takes so long for the other one to grow out, right? It's just, it does not look good, and it takes so long for it to grow out. Like one of the slowest growing hair or places of hair that you can grow out, except for your
eyelashes.
Eyelashes, exactly. Those are also pretty slow. Except if it's you, of course. You have luscious eyelashes and eyebrows, of course. So you could shave them off, and then in a couple of weeks they'll be back.
Stop it. You're making me blush. Nick McGalaxy making a rotation here with the snowmobile. Boy, it's been a while since we've seen some Vikendi, and I forgot about the snowmobiles. Definitely interesting. When I used to drive them, they were not the best with controlling them. And
yeah, they're better off-road than on the road.
Yep, yeah, definitely. 100%.
That's
you can see them switching off there with one of the snow bikes. I don't even remember what this one is called, to be completely honest. But I know that one is, to control it, is even worse than the snowmobile. You can see Bigetron right here just taking full control of the compound. And it's interesting, as I'm looking at the map here, Vampire Esports is going to be able, if they do end up rotating towards the east, instead of making a long rotation, they are going to be able to rotate just absolutely freely to Cosmodrome and Trefno if they decide to.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be completely fine with that. The question is, how are we going to see those other rotations? Because right now we see a lot of teams coming in from that south side. There's guys. Shifu on screen is going to pick up on top. He has a G36C in hand, I see. Maybe he prefers playing that. I actually kind of like it as well. Fortunately, I don't think it's as good as the M4. It's just somewhere in between. A little bit too weak. The punch is too high. Like it's somewhere in between the M4 and the Scar. But yeah, it's not my personal preference, but I think it's a cool weapon in general, and I think it's a nice one for this one here. Luxy with the 4x on it, he's going to be able to absolutely shred people if he's able to close them out. Not that much utility. I see 6 smokes and 1 grenade on them. Here we see R8 coming out and rotating. They are coming in from the south side again, a really populated area.
Going to be trying to make their way up to the north by Cement Factory. And I was going to point out, 7Cs is still so far out. They were in Double Maestro. And with that
You know why? You know why, right?
Why?
Because we're on Vikendi, so it's a cold map, so they move slowly because they're frozen. 7Cs.
Well, it's not just Vikendi. I mean, this team has definitely been moving very, very slow. They are currently sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. And I think we are going to be getting our first fight between S2G. Oh, no, it's actually Deadeyes and Bigetron. Deadeyes making some of the players there from Bigetron back off. I did end up seeing some of the S2G players, and we know what S2G has been able to do. If they do see an opening, they are going to make that push, especially if they get that knock. But with 7Cs, this is a team that has been playing very, very slow. They are currently sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard. Yes, they have been able to win some of the earnings, but I would like for them to become a little bit more aggressive and not playing so passive. They have the skill. We saw what Scout was able to do yesterday. Yes, it was during a show match. Yes, it was just against 2 people, but I do want to see a little bit more aggressiveness, as we do have Rod here against R8 ESPORTS, who's going to be getting the first knock. We haven't had a nail in yet, and somebody's going to be looking forward to it. Is it going to be a Rod? He's going to be wanting to confirm that. You can see Rod being the first one to eliminate right there and getting $2,000.
Oh, he goes down as well.
Getting knocked from behind.
Yeah, and Rod actually looking pretty damn good here. That was impressive. Rod being able to take down R8 ESPORTS. Super impressive of the guys coming out of Egypt here. Kaito on screen. Well played by them. Now we have Deadeyes, guys. More G36Cs in action. Smoke come out. I think Shifu's going to be completely done here. Yeah, he's going to bleed out. That's unfortunate for Deadeyes, guys. Losing a player like that. That is Luxy confirming that one. And now the circle is closing. Luckily, it's kind of center. It's going to be kind of easy here for Peshkova. We could see a potential urban ending with that. Peshkova is actually kind of nice with that road that's going through the center and all the open buildings. A lot of fights with that. And as you're pointing out here, a lot of teams are still not inside the circle, 7.
Yeah, Enigma Galaxy very separate from each other. I think they're looting. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that team. Maybe they're trying to get some of the heals. Hopefully they're not trying to go for a heal up. Team Falcons making now their push towards the east. And then you see Damwon Kia just sneakily making their push towards up north. Right. They need to be careful because they might end up running into Alpha 7 because Alpha 7 is going to take that full control. So I think 2 teams that had the exact same idea, interested to see what's going to happen there if Damwon Kia does not end up just changing their rotation. Overall, though, most of the teams now in this zone. Bigetron set themselves up perfectly. I'm glad that they didn't end up losing anybody earlier to Deadeyes, as I think they were scouting to see if they wanted to take that compound. Deadeyes did back them off just in time to stop everybody else. And Bigetron is currently playing with both of their twins, Luxy and Suxy. So I think it might be just that Luxy doesn't like Livik. I'll have to ask him and I'll find out for everybody tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. That'll be great to hear. And obviously there's also that touch, right? We're playing these 6 different maps. Some players might have a huge preference. Like, it's one of their favorite maps, right? And the other players, if they hate it, you want to swap out. You want to have these players that have a huge insight and a lot of knowledge, because the terrain on each map is so vastly different. So if you're able to have an upper hand or some information that some of the other players don't have, that's the nice thing about being able to substitute, you know, every single game. The synergy between the 5 guys are obviously very high usually. First airdrop collected here for Calcy for S2G. S2G representing here out of Turkey. Ooh, that is 7C gone down. That is not good for them. S2G being able to find that one. Race on screen, as you see. This 3-finger setup, it looks like. I forgot how wonderful that ghillie suit does look on the snow.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Taking advantage of it. It looks absolutely
so
amazing.
hard to see players when they're rocking it and they're playing it as well. Like when they're super slow or move quick, then sit still. Shots coming in here from Race. A lot of G36 in play. I like that. None of this team is having to rotate yet. The circle hasn't fully closed. Alpha 7 did end up moving a little bit more north, kind of freeing the way up for Damwon Kia.
Team Falcons now positioning themselves between Alpha 7 and M1 Kia. Guess what? The M1 Kia now needs to be careful because they might end up getting sandwiched here between Enigma Galaxy and Alpha 7, as Alpha 7 is starting to go a little bit south, seeing if they want to take that compound. It comes down to what the circle is going to do. What are we going to end up getting? Are we going to get a somewhat of an urban? We are.
That maintains a lot of water, which means that the teams that are on the east side, close to the water, can play that uphill. But Peshkova is going to be crucial for this. I could see a few teams, maybe even 3 or 4, trying to just rush that and prioritize having that, because it is quite heavily centered right now. More teams are trying to rush into some better angles. Right now, Enigma Galaxy outside the zone here, 7. It's not looking good for them. They have a far way ahead of them. I have a few teams that potentially could be gatekeeping. Does Fabian know? I'm not sure. Fabian is just running in the open here. Rove could potentially take some shots, but he's waiting. Fabian could turn. He is inside the zone right now. Shots are there. 3-2-1ing that one, and Freak and Raouf is able to take down Fabian quickly and disperse with that. Meanwhile, the last 3 players from Damwon Kier, they're going to be rotating into the zone here on the southeast side and try to prioritize that.
They're going to have to be careful. Alpha 7, Mafioso is going to be holding an angle there for his team, and he might be able to spot some of the players there from Damwon Kia. Damwon Kia already losing one of the players from Enigma Galaxy. Great action that we saw there from Enigma Galaxy, waiting for everybody to be on the same page. Now, Stalwart ESPORTS stop getting knocked by S2G. S2G, we talked about this ghillie suit. It's really, really hard to spot. Can he take even more advantage of it, as he was able to knock top by surprise? Scree getting knocked as well from S2G. This is going to be a full S2G advantage, as they do have the numbers. We saw one of the players also trying to get it, one of the angles too. Hamsi, Pika slowing down a little bit. Action there with him too. What a beautiful grenade there. Pika almost getting knocked, and there's going to be another nade going his way. He needs to be careful. Almost 5 HP. The only thing that's currently holding him off.
Molotov's being deployed for Cold Sea. He has a 303 vest, of course. Being able to get that airdrop really closely early on. That's a nice push here. That's a sweep around the edge for S2G. They could be pushing on that, trying to take down Scry, confirm that one. Meanwhile, see just a few players left. That is it for that. That is super well executed in that situation. Stalwart has to back off, and it's just action now. Get together with Pika inside the smoke. Action finds Raze. That's important. Action with some more pressure onto the SG guys, helping out Pika. It's unfortunate for Stalwart, down to just 2 players now, not being able to... Oh, that's a big situation for them to take that one out. That vehicle could be crucial for them. Call C with the Mark 14, so strong, even up close range. Pika trying to nade that corner 7.
Yeah, these 2 teams are fighting for so long that I'm wondering if 7Cs is very close by. Are they going to decide to make a push and try to third party this? It was the aggression that I want to see out of 7Cs, but I don't think they're going to be doing it. You can see Hamsi picking up his teammate right there. Action and Pika, though, ultimately being able to hold it off for a very long time for their team, and they're still trying to find some of the other people. I think they have spotted some of the other players there from STG, hoping that they can get some kind of elimination. We do end up getting a new circle, and it is going to go a little bit towards the northeast. I think this is going to be benefiting in a big way. Vampire Esports, Alpha 7, and Bigetron is going to have to decide which way of the road are they going to want to be. Are they going to want to be with Vampire Esports, or are they going to want to be with Alpha 7? As the fight between SCG and Stalwart Esports does continue. Stalwart Esports action currently getting shot from the back by players of SCG. You can see Pika currently laying down Silas. Action goes down to Hamsi. Now Stalwart Esports, Pika trying to figure out what he's going to be doing here, waiting for the right moment. We do start seeing now 7Cs slowly but surely starting to come up. Are they going to want to participate on this? And honestly, if I'm 7Cs at this point, just continue on to the zone. It is too late. You don't want to third party this. Focus on the zone, get to the safe zone. And Rod, meanwhile, they absolutely send it towards the ocean, and great thing they did, because they only ended up just getting one of their players. Now you can see Carrillo currently shooting at Ravenclaw. Is he going to be able to connect? He's not able to get that knockdown. Now
this is a huge play by Alpha 7. Them being able to take that compound. They just saw the circle go north. Nobody was in there, and they pushed that, locked it down. All 4 guys super strong in this situation. Damwon Kier could potentially take one of the Rod players down. They're trying to defend this off, and that's going to be a dirty fight there on the east side. Meanwhile, Bigetron is coming in on the south side. I think they're going to be fighting Falcons. Yeah, you see right now on screen Nick McGalaxy just gone down here to down Monkey. Such a good play from him.
Yeah, wonderful grenades, and that's going to help him for that match reward. Don't forget, special eliminations. That's going to be huge, especially with the most special eliminations as well.
Yeah.
Team Falcons just playing it very slow, coming out from a
Rough
great
circle
game for
here
them.
with so much water, 7. It's crazy, right?
Indeed. SGG playing it. Now SGG is trying to figure out how are they going to be able to get into this zone and where are they going to end up going because of that fight that took so long between them and the Stalwart Esports is going to put them at a huge, huge disadvantage. Team Falcons, Yusuf able to spot Sluxy right there, not able to get the knock. Decides to back off a little bit more. And guess what? Sluxy is able to spot Powerful there. He does get some shots. Very, very low. He's going to be throwing the Molotov. Just decides to back him off. Great Molotov from Bigetron right there. Meanwhile, Jamfo's relocating himself, trying to get some angles.
Oh, look at that. Falcons push down here on the lower ground. It's going to be hard for Bigetron to defend. Lux is still knocked. Genfos also in a situation where they can't get the res off. Soxy is going to go for Luxy right now, and they have very little time. Falcons going to be pushing up aggressively in this. This is a super good execution by Falcons. Kalsi with the mark 14 now, pushing Genfos. Ooh, a lot of damage coming out here. It's a dangerous gun. 303 was as well. Bigetron in the middle of this sandwich.
Falcons just went in patiently. There is some killings that are going to be end up going to SGS.
Water and play, and it eliminates so many compounds. That's why we have these wild situations where you see so many teams trying to push for the same compound. Third-partying so much. Alpha 7 here trying to deny the push from Powerful. Team Falcons trying to just get a foot inside this circle here. But Alpha 7 says no.
Team Falcons just barely being able to maintain themselves alive right there. They do have a lot of the other players that are going to end up rotating, but guess what? Alpha 7 is just not having any of that. They're looking at all the angles. They're trying to find just any other players from Team Falcons to knock them and eliminate them. That way they can move on and focus on what's ahead, which is going to be Rod, Damwon Kia, and Vampire Esports. But here we go. Never Alone gets to get some of those shots in.
Connects a few onto Rero, but now he has to heal. Ticking slowly down now. He has 5 first aids. A little bit too early on the pop of the first aid. Powerful tries to push, but instantly denied by the UMP by Mafioso. Sadat finds Powerful, though, on the other side. 2 guys here from Rad, Stath and Munir. They are on the edge of the zone inside, but they are going to have to make a move as well. Damwon Kia, 3 players inside the circle, too. Also have Vampire inside that circle here. Next circle has Pop, and you can see here on your screen, top far right minimap, Vampire has just this little compound that they're able to hold on to. Meanwhile, the guys on the south, Alpha 7 and Arad, they are going to have to move in this situation here. Falcons eventually is going to go down to the zone, trying to blue zone heal right now. Good shots coming in from Vampire. They have to deny this push here. Never Alone finds Rero. That's going to delay them, and that's going to be really crucial for their further campaign in this zone here.
It really is. There you go. Never Alone gets eliminated by the place. But Alpha 7, as you mentioned, it just getting hindered by their rotation, and they are going to have to push on Rod here. Is the only way that they can rotate. They don't want to take on Vampire Esports just yet. Mythic is going to be able to get the revive right there, and now Damwon Kia, they went from swimming to trying to figure out if they want to push the action a little bit towards Vampire Esports, playing it super, super slow, and this is the right way to play. And we also see Rod, they do have a DPS at hand. Alpha 7 needs to be careful when they get to very, very close range. Yes, they do have those UMP, but I mean, the DPS is just way too powerful when you are that close. Here we go, Carrillo, who's going to be able to see each other first. Rod, Seda, not being able to get at least one of the knocks there. Can he get another of the knocks? He does end up getting a finish there on Mythic. Seda by himself ends up getting knocked down by one of the Revo nades, and now he comes down to Munir. Can Munir get any of this? No, he's not. Rod is going to get eliminated by Alpha 7. Alpha 7 ends up losing Mythic to the DBS. Vampire Esports Stone making their way a little bit closer towards Alpha 7. That's a great, great strategy there. They know that they currently have the advantage. Ravenclaw and Stone, they're going to lay down some of the nades, some of the Molotovs as well, trying to control where Alpha 7 is going to be rotating. The MG3 is so deadly up close. Here comes the shots. He ends up missing some of the shots. Now Alpha 7 does have all of their players up. Revo trying to heal up. Who's going to win this engagement? Vampire Esports, I think at this point, just decides to back up a little bit more. And they need to be careful because the zone is not going to be on them. The zone is going to be on Damwon Kia. Juni currently actually getting knocked and eliminated by stops from Vampire Esports. And meanwhile, Alpha 7 just being able to rotate, thankfully, to that Rich that is right there for him.
Yeah, it's a really bold push here from Vampire. I like the strategy trying to push out and finish that. Take advantage of that situation. For 7 having a few knock players. More shots coming into Mafioso. There's 2 stops. Nearly being able to knock him. The zone is still in play here. And Alpha 7 is able to traverse this super hard and rough terrain ahead of them, while Damonkia is holding that rock lower ground. Shots are coming in. Carillo finds Ravenclaw. That's huge.
That is going to be huge. Can he get that elimination as well? Vampire Esports now in the defense. They're only going to have 2 players. They are in the zone, and they're going to have to be careful between Alpha 7 and then Mafioso playing very risky there with that jump. I thought he might have ended up sliding all the way down. That would have been just absolutely unfortunate. Then Kiana playing it slow, and I wonder if Alpha 7 is going to be able to stop this revive here. Vampire Esports just might be able to pick up their player.
This next zone here did go super hard towards Vampire. Oh my god, Stone finds Carillo as well. This is going to delay them. That's rough. The question is, are they going to be able to swing over and get him? The only way for any of the teams, either Damonkia and Alpha 7, to win this is just to smoke the entire wall so they can push that. Otherwise, it's going to be really rough. The question is, does Song and Forest try to focus on third party or being the last team, or try to just rock with the zone, or what are their thoughts here? I really want to see some offensive smoke around that edge there on that wall that Ravenclaw and Stone is holding. That's really, really important for Alpha 7 to try to make that push. Forest has a car. The question is, how long is Damonkia going to wait until they try to push the Vampire compound or try to third party Alpha 7?
And with the terrain here that Kia has, it might actually end up working out.
Ooh.
I don't think Mafioso would want to get up and take some shots there on that vehicle. And one of the other things that they need to be careful with Vampire Esports is if Kia does decide to make that push with the vehicle, they need to be careful, because if Stobbs decides to shoot at that car, Mafioso is going to be able to counter stand up and see if they can get some kind of knock with that. Revo, Carigi just playing it super, super slow right now, which is the right thing to do. You can see Vampire Esports was able to pick up one of their teammates. They are at full 3 now, 3, 3, and 2. Then Kia is going to end up making this push. They are in the vehicle. They do have some smokes out. And the DBS ready. This is what we were hoping for. Then Kia, what's going to happen here? Who's going to be winning this? They also have a DBS for Vampire Esports. Oh. He ends up getting knocked. This is the opening that Alpha 7 needed here, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing now. They need to be careful. Ravenclaw does have an angle on them. He is able to knock Rio. Can he knock down Revo as well? Revo decides to lay it down. This is a huge 1v1.
Oh,
Revo is going to end up getting knocked too. I think it's going to end up coming down to Mafioso. Great players. He does end up securing a point right there for Alpha 7. Mafioso with the UMP making a push. Wow. It's too much. Vampire Esports, ladies and gentlemen, being able to win Vikendi. Great performance for them. Great positioning, honestly, from that team. And this is a team that always is able to hold down their composure if one of their teammates is down. Guess what? They showed it here. They waited for the right moment. They made sure they address any of the teams that was pushing towards them. Vampire Esports making a huge statement there with that Vikendi.
Now the last player. Only less of an off angle there, but this one.
The talent, about the players, about the format, everything you could possibly want to give feedback to. Make sure you guys. As a foreman, very decisive. Was that even back? And they did it right there. No, they actually changed it back to.
Interesting because it is a.
And so you able to put him in a position.
It's going to take a big day to be fair.
More aggressively, get them.
Might become a pro one day. It's actually official. You guys have seen these little basketball challenges we've had. Now, some of you out there might not know what basketball is or how the challenge works, but luckily for you, we have an explainer to break it down for you. It's obviously 2K, but still.
Teams right now over on the north side. I think S2G are alone there with 4. And kind of was a center 111.
trying to earn themselves a little bit more money
from here on in.
Absolutely, and these teams, they need to get a Karakin on with getting these points on board during these matches. Trying to earn themselves a little bit more money, a little bit more of those in-game rewards for themselves. Alpha 7, you know, they're way ahead of everyone else in terms of points overall. 111 at the top, goodness me. Good stuff from them. But we're heading over towards Karakin, a very, very small map with, you know, quite minor compounds towards the center. So a lot of these edge drops around the coastal side will be able to loot up a little bit. We saw some cheeky stuff yesterday with teams heading directly into the tunnels and kind of snaking out towards the end. But you're not earning the big points like the most eliminations over here from Revo as well as Carrillo. 5 ahead of the third place of Never Alone there with 14. But already, we're getting a little bit of a hot drop going on across the map.
Seems like there's 2 groups of teams right now over on the north side. I think S2G rerouted away from that 7C BTR engagement on the north side. As we do hop on in on the east side as well, you've got R8 and Raj seemingly quite close to each other. Enigma Galaxy split around the Deadeyes guys as well. Maybe looking to get inside those tunnels. At the moment, looks like R8 might be looking for the first elimination. Get a little bit more money on the cards. I mean, they were sat at the bottom here, and look at that, 2K. They've doubled their earnings so far, and if they keep going, they might be able to get that 7K total from that first team elimination.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy there. Just picking up a lot of money off the back of it, but already it's Deadeyes guys and Enigma Galaxy who are also taking a fight on. You can see it on your screens right now, Chari, who's been fairly fantastic for Deadeyes guys during the Afterparty Showdown. Starts things off strong for them, but look at that, it's popping off all over the place. We can barely keep up with it.
Okay, BTR pushing in, DBS in hand for the forefront. Nicely done. Off angle for Genforce as well. BTR moving through well right now. 7C, not really getting too much to hold off. Spray God needs to hold the stairway. Gets one, but traded off. Beautiful result for Liquid as he can now start up that res. Getting that flush as well. The team elimination came through from Stalwart in the meantime. Plenty of fights going on across the map, but Bigetron still on this push.
One of the big hitters in S2G already going down. Zuxi, though, just surrounding them. Molotovs that sent through. Try and stop the push, but Genforce has got a pretty good idea where this player is. Underneath, now we'll relay that information back. Aladdin's in a tough spot. Will drop the shot, though. And that'll be him out, but immediately there's a refrag there. BTR are with it this game.
Greedy, greedy, greedy there. Aladdin succumbs. And will get traded off. Sarang, though, last player standing for 7C. Door shut in his face. Maybe looking for this res, but out comes Zuxi. It's taken care of. Not quite good for the second. Liquid is going to be able to clutch this one out. All 4 of BTR stay alive.
Quickly get the reses back on board, but it's Stalwart 4 eliminations and BTR with the same. So 2 team eliminations there. Stalwart will still hold the most team eliminations title for the current time. Considering it's based on time, whoever gets it first will hold on to that little place on the podium right at the top. Vampire Esports trying to bring things back. Had a great game there on Vikendi. Some really interesting plays that they pulled through. I think Schweppes jumping into the water. You know, as an info play, it was good, but I think he took things a little bit too far. Even so, Stone and the rest of the team were able to back him up and take that victory home for them. But now it's Stalwart versus Vampire Esports, hoping to get a little bit of revenge for what happened in the PMWI. I think everyone was thinking that Stalwart was going to really be right at the top in terms of the standings, but Vampire Esports came out of nowhere and just continued blasting in that tournament.
I'm not too sure what happened to S2G there. Did they go down first? I thought they'd managed to get the first team elimination, but I think I was mistaken on that.
No, they were the first team elimination.
Oh, well, that's the opposite.
Felled by Stalwart.
Ah, okay, right, okay. That's fair enough. To be fair, S2G have had a lot of money so far. I think they were at 50K at the start of this game.
Yeah.
They are doing absolutely fine for themselves. So, you know, spread the wealth. Share
exactly. You know what they say, sharing is caring. So all these teams hoping to take home a little bit of brass by the end of it. Should be very nice to add to their totals, especially the teams that did qualify directly from the PMWI, our top 5 from there. And it is BTR who starts this game off very strong, but it's Stalwart who have remained consistent, I would say, throughout both tournaments. They're still yet to be at the top, and with the current streak that Alpha 7's on right now, This team is looking good, but Stoned, as I say that, will knock one of the players from Stalwart. Very, very long shot, though, so unlikely they'll be able to flush that.
Action seemingly the one to move. Top on the far side. Very, very resible there. Will just slow them down on the northwestern side. The circle really not posing a threat to anyone right now. Alpha 7, no one really in front of them at this stage. Should be pretty much a vibe. Rad, with only one player left, though, potentially getting pushed on. Was that another knock onto Action? That was the guy going for the res onto top. Now Scry has to reposition. Pika's there left. The last person trying to suppress this angle. Excellent hold from Vampire Esports.
Deja vu. I think I've been in this place before. Scry tries to head up to get the rest, but Stone's having absolutely none of it. Take some shots. And at this point in time, you're kind of calling back to the boys saying, I think it's not likely they're able to scale up to the top side there. And, you know, even though they're so clearly in range, Stoned is just got some insane oversight.
Pika needs to suppress the straight line, but with only the red dot, that's going to be hard shots to hit. Apparently, not that hard though for Pika. Already nailing one over towards Schweppes. Going to have to backing up, get that heal off. Top flushed, Action flushed. They are going to go down. Vampire Esports add 2 to the tally.
Yeah, Pika tries to jiggle it out there, but I think with the punishment that Scry suffered before, he wasn't likely to go for it again. But Ravenclaw, you saw him before in that fight, making the long run to a big off angle. Did in the last game of Vikendi, slightly less of an off angle there, but this one is absolutely insane. What a wild sprint this man has made.
Incredible. Really, really solid. I think this is a suppressor on the front of the rifle as well, which is going to mean it would be a little bit harder to figure out exactly where that's coming from. Although these teams will have their wits about them. They'll certainly know a general direction.
Now for 7. Also taking shots down towards Deadeye's guys. I think for all these games, they are the ones not to be messed with here. In the Afterparty Showdown, look to rack up even more cash for themselves. You know, we may say sharing is caring, but it does feel like Alpha 7 would like the lion's share to themselves. Sure, they might hand out a couple of freebies, but for the most part, it's theirs.
Handing out plenty of L's, though, for a couple of these teams. Deadeye's guys take one themselves. Alpha 7, though, they did lose Revo in the process. Vampire, in the meantime, on the western side of this next circle, looking to take care of Stalwart, and that will be the end of them. Vampire Esports pick up a team elimination. They are looking to get a little bit more. Bigetron at their western side might prove to be tricky if they don't know they're there, but they should be able to scout this one. It looks like Bigetron know this position's going through. Is this the exact situation that Stalwart were in against Vampire Esports? Let's see if the tune has changed.
You do like the Vampire Esports essentially, and now taking up the exact same position. BTR are going to take up Vampire's spot. And again, it really is deja vu today. I feel like maybe I'm going slightly insane. We'll see if BTR can do the same efficient work towards them. But there are shots sent back. Fluketh will be knocked by Zuxi, though.
No answering knocks as well. And now, I mean, how does this keep happening? You'd have thought that something would have figured out. 2 smokes bloomed. They are a lot closer together than Stalwart were, which means that these reses potentially a little bit better. They also don't have the massive Ravenclaw off angle that was available to Vampire Esports to stop those reses earlier.
Yeah, that really cut down Stalwart in their tracks. Stone there, running around as fast as possible on the swivel. I hope he's, you know, greased up the soles on those shoes so he can be swiftly sliding from left to right, because he will need to in that smoke. And now even Alpha 7 are taking a chunk out of them. Goodness me, Vampire Esports. You should have known that spot was bad when you took apart Stalwart the way you did.
Need to figure out how to escape from this area, right?
Yeah.
You need to disengage from this engagement. It is not going well right now. Unless they can get a pick or two, and if you're going to land that spray, it could be good. Schweppes, gets to cover. Just about has to put the rifle away and hit the decks to try and get some healing done. Alpha 7 not going to spot it just yet. They see Stone instead. Just dancing around. This guy, happy feet.
Yeah, and I mean, I said that he'd put grease on the soles, but it looks like, you know, he switched out the trainers completely for a pair of some ice skates there. So he is really, really making it happen. There's not much ice on this map to be, you know, skating around on, but he makes it look good either way.
I feel like ice skates would potentially be the worst shoe for this sort of terrain.
There's real good grip.
There's no.
Yeah.
That's the entire purpose.
They'll go straight into the sand. He's not going anywhere. He can really plant his feet. It's like having nails on your feet.
And that's what you don't want, surely.
It's like the poor man's crampon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like ice skates are quite expensive.
Yeah, but if you got nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Maybe put a pair on your hands, then you're like,
Yeah, then you're really going for it at that point.
get up the side of the cliffs. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to handle a weapon.
Yeah, I'll test that. If you don't hear from me, can you please ring a helicopter?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that, certainly. Looks like Vampire Esports have moved a little bit further into their position at this time. Enigma Galaxy not really taking shots. Alpha 7 slowed that engagement with them. Bigetron on the northern side, potentially looking to try and change the path of history and not push onto Vampire's position and take up that spot. Not just yet, anyway. Could change.
It could change. I mean, Zuxi's taking that off angle right now. You can see it. Vampire Esports, they've managed to get themselves a good lineup, but the next circle about to pop in. Does head over towards the east side. Falcons going to be extremely happy with this one, especially considering, you know, they've held this spot for a very long time in this game. They've not had to move. It's one of the main compounds. Should be very nice and looted. They'll have to be running around like Vampire Esports, searching the bodies for the medical equipment. Enigma Galaxy in front of Vampire Esports, you know, they've been harassed by Alpha 7 before, but were able to, you know, get out of dodge fairly quickly. Now Zuxi, this is that off angle we were talking about before, but it's very important that he doesn't go down. Also, dropping the suppressor on board, very important piece of equipment, considering you are on the off angle away from your team. You cannot give away your positioning.
First airdrop was collected, R8 ESPORTS, which does mean, of course, blank. That's some more money for R8. Beautiful stuff. They got first elimination coming on through. First team elimination, not so lucky, but that's 3K so far that they've earned. Starting on 2K, you will definitely take that.
It's going well. If you want to continue to stay up to date with all the money these guys are able to put in the back pocket, you can join in for the PMWI Watch Together. So you can watch together with us in-game over at the Esports Center with your friends to win some PMWI special sets.
And if you want the gun skins and the outfits from the PMWI, there are PMWI packages on sale for a limited time. You can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI.
It's always worth it to crack out the phone and get a little bit of PUBG Mobile done on the fly, perhaps in between, on the breaks. Though the guys on the desk, they are very interesting. Drop some good knowledge, some good jokes. Can't go wrong with that.
Well,
there's some good ones.
Good jokes. There's some good jokes.
Yeah,
Some
absolutely.
good jokes. Yeah, that's right. Some of them are awful. Horrible jokes.
Did like the explainer. Sometimes you do need an explainer, though, for the desk when it comes to playing basketball. Some interesting tidbits that I'll bring out next game.
I mean,
You know.
we are all massive nerds here in the broadcast team. So that, I think it's fair enough to try and explain any sort of sporting reference.
I have basketball facts. They're coming up. So you have to wait till the next game to hear about them. So stay tuned here for the Afterparty Showdown.
Oh, I'm excited now. Maybe I'll find out what basketball is. Who is a Kobe?
That's right. Who knows? Very, very famous, though.
Vampire
I think
Esports.
you should know.
That's fair. Vampire Esports is quite close to Enigma Galaxy right now. They're down to 2 players as well. Alpha 7, they're in a spot of bother of their own. Bigetron going toe-to-toe with the Titans of this tournament so far. It looks like at the moment Alpha 7 suffering a little bit as Bigetron try and push through, but the blue zone is going to put pressure on this fight. Mafioso down close to Bigetron's line as they move forwards. Not really going to be able to do too much to save this one. What can the rest of the squad do? As Vampire pepper the back, Freak for Enigma Galaxy holding that out. Zuxi descends from the hillside. Teammates starting to drop, starting to fall. Carrillo and Mythic, 2 players alive for Alpha 7. 2 players still in action for Bigetron as it is Liquid to go down.
Mesleri trying to push around the side with the UMP in hand. It's not anything yet, but it does force Alpha 7 into an unlucky engagement. But there are shots along the way from Schweppes. And that'll shut down BTR, but now Alpha 7 suffering from the same angle.
Neither of these teams can go for this engagement under the purview of Sweps. They have to disengage. Zuxi has to heal, and they can't push onto this position. The only option is to push right around this rock and try and engage that way if you don't want to be spotted out there. And that's a really difficult run to make. Both of Alpha 7 now have their sights set on Zuxi. Nades, C4 being thrown on out, and they're trying to put the fear of God into Zuxi.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has to wait a while to get out, and they're just continuing to send utility in. You can see Mythic with one in hand does have a slight rock along his side, so he can play these aggressive angles, and Zuxi just has to bide his time a little bit here. Molotov 2.
With Schweppes going down, that sightline is suddenly freed up for just a little bit. Hopefully, be able to leverage that to move on forwards for Bigetron. Deadeyes, guys. Super close to Carrillo right now. Shots from outside in the blue. Nade, Molotov trying to find a small opening, anything that you can to push on forwards. Teru loves another Molotov. Another bit of pressure. As Carrillo got to get pushed by this blue zone as well. Wants to finish out the threat from the back. Do not want to be harried, but around the side, health bar dwindling. Goes to the shot. It's not going to happen. Set back.
Carrillo dealing with that on the side of the circle there, right on the edge, and somehow Alpha 7 still making it through. You can see D77 though off in the distance. Just dropping the first aid kit in. But Carrillo still has this on lock. Slowly taking out players, but it's Zuxi. Spots him out first. And he's managed to make his way in. The sticky bombs, they were not enough to stop Zuxi. This guy has been on tears before, and he doesn't likely stop anytime soon. Mythic jumping his way into the circle, but D77, that angle that maybe they'd not found out before, sends in the spray, but absolutely whiffs every single shot.
How does he get that 180? How does he survive? And now out of the blue land and makes it work. What a turnaround for Mythic. But he's the last player standing now for Alpha 7 into this engagement. Nick.Galaxy versus the last remaining player from RAD.
It's not over yet for Mythic, though. And with D77 painting a rainbow above his head in bullet marks, I don't know, man. Mythic really shouldn't have got away with that, but blessing his lucky stars right now.
Oh, that's rude. That's a little bit rude, that. Go on.
Trying to get himself back in the action. RAD, though, again, doing pretty well here. They got some money off that last game and now starting to try and increase that bank account. Mythic makes the long run across and no one spotted him nor stopped him.
Zuxi's still going as well. But Falcons, I mean, they dominate the zone right now. It's really a question of who comes second in my mind at this stage. RAD eliminated. Freak, now the last player. Only 4 other players in this lobby, other than Team Falcons. It's 4v1, v1, v1, v1.
You got a lot of snakes here. Time to team together, take down Falcon, but already they're picking them off one by one.
Around the pulling it out, M249 is just too much to handle. Mythic falls, Nick.Galaxy stay alive. 3 teams now remain.
Zuxi's chilling. He's looking for that second place. He wants to bump up those points. Currently in 6th, you know, it's not a bad idea when 6 are limbs on his side as well. Good stuff from him. It's like 6 points total. I mean, you can't turn your nose up at that.
Certainly can't. Freak, the M249. Again, trying to push forwards. Really low on meds. No boosters. That health bar is only going to get topped up by the bandages. Zuxi, on the other hand, has a little bit more. Panzer, potentially? No, not going to be seeing it here. Freak eliminated. Now, just Bigetron. 1 versus 4 for Zuxi. I mean, is it going to happen? I don't think so.
It's a cheeky heel off. Now I just want to see Yusuf send that rocket flying.
Let's go.
And just, you see if he can hit him. I don't think he will, but Falcons, with the position, they started here, it's ended here. It's a nice win for them, and they'll take the 10K either way.
If they don't get this elimination, I feel like Bigetron Red Aliens might get most eliminations. If it goes down to the blue zone, potential for them to be pipped to the post. I mean, they'll take the 10K for the chicken dinner, sure, but Oh, Panzerfaust potentially spotting it. Yusuf, he's on the broadside. I think Zuxi's seen it.
Let's send it in. I like the Never Alones there doing the same emote than what they did in their team parade. Send out.
It's true.
Yeah, it's nice stuff. You know, cosplaying as yourself in game. That emote was created for Team Falcons, in fact.
Hells yeah. No more. Only one more first stage. Sorry, I take that back. I apologize. He spotted Damar. He's got to. He's got to have done, right? And
It's
now he's
time
going to
to
lie
go.
down. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not getting back in. Sticky bomb on the floor. Time to go. See you later, boys.
Boom, boom.
What an ending.
Team Falcons take the chicken dinner on Karakin. Excellent way to earn yourself 10K. You do like those. You do like those.
Yeah, dominant win as well. They didn't really have to do too much on that Northwest edge because, you know, it was all popping off over there. Team Falcons just kept it nice and chill over on that Northeast edge. They wait for the rest of the teams to come over towards them, and that was the end of them.
I mean, absolutely. I think this might be the first time, potentially, that we see the non-chicken dinner team not the chicken dinner team not getting most eliminations in the game as well.
They didn't have to do. They just waited it out. You know, they played it safe. You know, even had one player there with the Panzerfaust in hand. It's good stuff. They were real chill that game, and the Falcons, they'll take that 10K home. But a few other teams managed to get there towards the top.
Absolutely did. We'll have to see how that all falls after the break.
Team Falcons, the eyebrow saviors of Karakin, have once again striked, getting their second chicken dinner on the day and another $10,000 at a minimum on the board. Kalaris, you called it, the profit, saying that Team Falcons are going to get themselves a second chicken dinner on the day, or we shave Max's eyebrows. Will they get a third?
No, we're not doing this again. One was enough.
I love how he got ahead of it.
Yeah, he did.
That was impressive. I was in a rough position because I am the blesser. You know, I normally call things quite well, but I really didn't want them to win, considering there was the opportunity of a lifetime. But anyway, they get themselves the victory. They really didn't have to do much for it here. Karakin's a bit of an odd battleground, I think, to say the least when it comes to this, but they do get themselves the victory. 15 points go their way.
Yeah, our match rankings by STC here showing that they dominated the board here. But to be fair, Bigetron Red Aliens able to at least heal out, get 6 limbs, get 12 points, Max.
It's still not a BTR win, so we're still not able to see it this time around. And they
Yeah, I
committed
think
to
it's
the
a
heal
new
off very
hashtag,
early.
right? Hashtag BTR almost win.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a bit long.
Doesn't
I don't
roll off
think
the tongue.
I know social media. I don't think it would hit the mark too well, but it's a good attempt. But
Wait.
Oh.
Hashtag 2022 BTR almost win.
hashtag BTR too soon.
Okay. There you go. Alpha 7 managed to get the elimination across the way. In the meantime, soon, Alpha 7
time. Right. Well, you can have extra.
very cool. There it goes. I say fact. The rest of the battle.
Go through the hoop. See when the ball makes it all the way in and then potentially bounces back out, which is why you have those long little segments where people are trying to figure out how far did the basketball go through the hoop.
And now we know.
And now you know. Absolutely.
And knowing is half the battle.
Exactly.
The rest of the battle is actually doing it, though, and that's certainly what these teams
That's
are going to be trying to battle their way through if they can get past those incredible basketball facts. I say facts in a plural sense. There was only a singular fact.
There's another fact here.
Okay, we'll save that for in a minute.
All right.
Okay, it's been a minute. What's the fact?
There you go. Second fact is that the net's also there for when the cameraman is on the side of the sideline. This is a little sub-fact. But,
Okay.
you know, you can, with the way that the hoop is set up, you know, toss the basketball up for a cheeky three-pointer and it go to the left of the hoop and still look like it's gone in. So you have the net there also to ensure that everyone on the court knows exactly what's happened. And already we're getting some absolute carnage on the court here in Paradise Resort.
There it goes. S2G, 5K in the bank. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Not only that, first elim will have been going over to them as well. 7K for that fight alone.
All right, then, S2G not happy about how the previous game went there and just immediately wanted to take the fight to R8 ESPORTS, and they've absolutely done such a thing. And Silas gets that nice little team elimination right there at the end.
Very cool. And solo loot in Paradise. What could be better? What could be better? Let's talk about the circle for a second. This is a pretty hard shift for a Sanhok.
It's fairly extreme, you know. Some might even say extreme if you were Maxman on the desk.
I'll tell you what is extreme.
Okay.
Is the fact that if you watch PMWI together in-game with your friends, you can win PMWI special sets. That's pretty wild. That's pretty extreme.
I will say that your segue was less extreme than what I was expecting.
I'll give you extreme in a minute.
Right. Well, you can have extreme in a minute, but only after you've picked yourself up a PMWI gun skin and outfit.
Oh.
Those PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time, just as limited as how fast this fight went for S2G. And you can win those PMWI treasure chests if you play PUBG Mobile during the PMWI.
Very good. Very good. Painan, occupied by Deadeye's guys, potentially, well, they will have to leave it fairly soon. Alpha 7. Occupants in Camp Bravo on the northeastern side. No one really challenging them very, very locally, but you've got Team Rad up a little bit further north. And that's really the only team that's sort of in their proximity. Central, Boot Camp, Stalwart.
Do you know what I'm really liking about these lobbies at the moment? It's just the splits that's coming through on Sanhok, purely because we only have 12 teams. A lot of these players are much more comfortable to take extreme splits at the beginning of the game, so they can get as much loot as possible. You can even see Vampire Esports. You can't right now, but when the map feed does come back up again for you, but I will tell you because I am nice in that way. You got Vampire Esports holding 2 towards Camp Alpha and also towards the Confluence, and then 2 down towards Tambang and Ruins, which gives them really, really good control over 2 of the major areas on the map, that's Southwest and also Northwest Islands. So really good stuff for Vampire Esports. They can kind of determine where they want to go as the game progresses. Right now, I would probably assume the Vampire Esports Stoned as well as Fluketh are going to be moving up from Ruins and Tambang to regroup with Schweppes and Ravenclaw.
That would seem to be the optimal position. And I feel like this is exactly the situation that this position shines in, right? And that's exactly what they're going to be able to operate on. huge stuff coming through from Vampire Esports. We've praised a lot in general, even during the main tournament last week. Their seeming game sense in terms of these rotations, in terms of these positions, and knowing when and where to be. Seems like they are carrying that over quite well into the Afterparty Showdown. Certainly will in this game.
Yeah, the macro is turning out to be very important for a lot of these teams, and Vampire Esports have certainly been able to cash in a chunk of money just with the macro that they've been displaying, getting those chicken dinners, that 10K. It's a lot of money for a chicken dinner. So, you know, a lot of these teams are searching out for it because you can get special eliminations, you can get the team eliminations and those very first elimination of the map, but that 10K, that is a consistent. That's always coming your way if you do play the game out very, very strongly. S2G, though, they've got a bit of momentum here. You know, they've puffed out their chest. They're feeling good after that squad wipe. You know, you're feeling maybe a little bit down after the last match, and even if you get that full squad wipe coming into Sanhok, you know, it's not the best. You know, you feel good about yourself. But getting it a revenge versus R8, ooh, that's got to feel good.
Certainly does. I'm looking right now at another way that one could feel good in this lobby. The airdrop over on the northern side, close to down one Kia, under the purview a little bit of 7C. But if S2G swing around, they might even be able to get the first airdrop. You can see it on the top side of your screen. Sung, though, has got that info, baiting out the 1K bounty for it, potentially.
I think that right now we're starting to see more and more DBSs through the lobby. And it might be a DBS showdown for the loot crate itself. And all props to Fabian for really popularizing this method in the PMWI. He had some sick matches over towards Miramar with that weapon. And, you know, we're all happy to see it. Kalaris is super happy to see it.
Do you know what DBS stands for?
No.
Da Big Shotgun.
Da Big Shotgun.
That's right.
Of course it does, yes. Is that in your head or, you know, canonically?
I choose to not answer that question.
That's okay. You know, no comment is a comment in of itself. Damwon Gaming, Damwon Kia, just down this side, holding strong. Really just baiting. Everyone's baiting out the airdrop. I mean, $1,000 is nice, but, you know, if you can get the most team eliminations, you know, that's a big chunk of money there. So you really want it to be very, very safe before anyone heads out to even touch this airdrop. You can see teams surrounding it.
Over on the northwestern island here, Vampire did get spotted out. I don't know if that was by 7C or even Stalwart or Deadeye's guys on the south side, but Ravenclaw did get knocked. I imagine it's in this engagement because you can see another knock coming through from Vampire Esports down the hill towards the Deadeye's guys as point break will be Fluketh on the south side of the formation for Vampire Esports.
Ooh, that is a nasty one, but it will play out nicely for Vampire Esports should they be able to get this player back up in action. It looks like Deadeye guys have taken
look at that.
A little bit of damage for themselves.
Sliver of HP left on, I believe that's Chari who's getting red there. Spotted out on the hillside. Fluketh still raining down pain on Deadeye's guys who are right with their backs to the blue on this next zone. They will have to move. And Vampire Esports, they're just going to have complete control over this terrain.
I think Fluketh, we talked a lot about Stone and how he's almost like star player for the team, but I think Fluketh and, in fact, the whole team is very, very good. But I think Fluketh as a fragger is kind of, you know, we don't talk about him too much, but even in that first day of PMWI, on Erangel, where they got a ridiculous elimination score, I believe it was 24 total. Fluketh was one of the main contributors to that, and I think he has really supported Stone very well in that regard. It's fantastic to see. You know, they really do have all their own little roles on the team, and you can see them being played out as well. There's some very, very consistent gameplay coming through from Vampire Esports, and they know the drill.
I mean, those off angles from Ravenclaw, just time and time again, coming in so clutch in those fights. It's a very well-coordinated team. As you say, their macro, their rotations, their positioning, some of the best in the world.
That loot crate is still just poison, by the way. No one wants to head towards it. I think we need some kind of taste tester from the lobby to head on over. Oh, and another one drops in the location as well. So there's potential here for one team to quickly pick themselves up. The first airdrop and most airdrops in the lobby, but down one Kia. Oh dear.
That's bad for business. 7C though. Love and life right now. Fabian about to get flushed. Aladdin actually pops on out. Shooting the railing's not going to do too much though. Back into the pickup. Hit the deck again. Control the bridge.
I like this spot from Aladdin. He is slightly lonely out here though. But realistically, he just needs support from Scout, Sarang, and Madman off in the distance. He just provides info, hits a few shots, and is very safe inside that pickup. Difficult to get to him in there unless someone takes high ground on him. Alpha 7 going at it again versus BTR here. BTR down towards the south, just the west side of Paradise Resort, and Alpha 7 making their wrap over this side. Enigma Galaxy as well as Falcons also starting to approach the circle. It's Enigma Galaxy who have made the big run through the Western Island. They're right behind Deadeye's guys now.
Certainly are. Vampire Esports did move up a lot further north, so that traffic jam has shuffled along. But it is, you're right, the Hamodi has now leapfrogged the position from Deadeye's guys. They're on the compounds in the northwest. No one really in those exact compounds to challenge them. Can Vampire Esports get the bead on them, get something done? Those loot crates, by the way, those airdrops have still yet to be touched.
Like I said, man, they do have spikes on them. You got to be careful because getting too close to an airdrop can spell the demise of your team. Enigma Galaxy, though, I think they really do have to be careful on this approach. They've all taken up compounds on that northwestern edge, as you can see. And I think this is where they start to scout out, figure out where all these players are rotating into. But this circle doesn't really have a definitive area on either side of the island. That bridge is still in there. Vampire Esports fairly happy with the current spot that they're holding.
I feel like it is looking more like a Northwest Island finish, right? I mean, you have only got a fairly tiny chunk of that mainland, but we've seen crazier things happen, right? Certainly plenty of hard shifts going on today. So on a hard eastern shift, there is still potential. But those crossings that were made early, good news. Things like Stalwart moving across from boot camp, it feels like they've made the right decision.
100%. 7C, though, still being our fishermen's in the lobby. Throwing the long line with the airdrop being the bait here.
Like those team intros.
A lot of these teams are very, very smart with it, I suppose, the best way to play. It's a tricky fish to catch. A lot of these teams being intelligent in this game. STG, though, they have moved out with the boat, and it looks like Madman was able to hit a very, very dirty spray. Silas, though, tries to take the shots, and Madman is having none of it.
I mean, the boat's up in flames. It's swimming for pretty much everyone in the water. Two of them are knocked out there, Raze and Hamzy. As that Raze knock did just come through. Are they looking to try and get these reses?
It's going to be difficult, but they got one. And Silas just trying to provide support, but I don't think he realizes that from that angle, Madman can just peek on the left side, and he's just never going to hit that shot through the window. Just trying to suppress, but the suppressing fire is just not good enough because it's never going to be a problem for Madman if Silas remains there.
Were they trying to go for the loot crate? I think they might have been. But it feels like S2G really have kind of shot themselves on the foot. Maybe they were just trying to look to cross more accurately.
There's another loot crate up here as well. It's all happened in the same location. It's out in the water, so, you know, it's very, very dangerous for any of these teams to even attempt it. So I think right now it's the chicken dinner that's on the cards. Maybe towards the end, you have a little bit of a leisurely swim when there's less players in the lobby. Falcons, though, they've come in very late to the circle. Enigma Galaxy, they've already taken up position.
Oh, straight on past, down the hill. Hard cover from terrain, but the push comes through. Enigma Galaxy move forwards. Auto Shotty, not going to be strong enough. Lord, able to get the side swipe. Powerful. Back behind the rock. Needs to cower behind it. Not really too much to do here, other than try and just hold out. Hold on for dear life. The flank comes through. There's an off angle from Enigma Galaxy. The pan to add insult to injury as Ralph swings in for the back angle.
Goodness me. Has he been fried? Is he easy over? Who knows in this situation, but he's certainly out of the game. Never Alone tosses the nades over the top. Try to find some damage. It's really good onto Hamodi, though. One more might do the trick. There's another player heading towards that location. This could be very bad.
Ooh, good damage. Hamodi managed to get the heel off there. Never Alone. Spots it, handles business on the swivel. Ralph now on the back angle. Could have been pivotal there, but didn't slow down the push from Never Alone. looking to turn this one around. Team Falcons with 3. Nade in hand for Powerful at the back, but one's popped over the top. It will suppress the angle and has the backup for the rest of his team. Up the top of the hill, there's Freak, and Deadeye's guys are starting to chime into the fight as well. Never Alone, finally taken care of. Deadeye's guys handle the back lines, and it is all falling apart for Enigma Galaxy.
They've been ripped to pieces in a fight that they thought would be easy, and now it's all down to Ralph here. Does confirm one, and Lord and Hamodi making the long crawl across. It's Deadeye guys who have their sights focused over towards Vampire Esports, so you know, potentially there's a chance here that Enigma Galaxy gets at least 3 players back up on their feet, but maybe not with Shifu, who is actually moving around the side of the coast here.
I believe S2G might have managed to pick up one of those crates out in the water in the meantime, but you have to think that Deadeye's guys have made this choice consciously. They were ahead of both Enigma Galaxy and Team Falcons in the queue on that western side. They have chosen to stay behind. They have chosen to be at the back of the queue.
Damar, that's a nice long-range shot onto them, and even so, Deadeye's guys were able to make a nasty little bit of damage over to all these teams. It's not been good, and Deadeye's guys have really thrown all of these teams into the cauldron. It's starting to boil now here on Sanhok.
Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. Not easy in the cauldron on the northern shore. Alpha 7 making their way to land, and will be able to do so. Rad trying to challenge position potentially. Carrillo trying to shimmy up the cliff and get the UMP out. Close range spray. Asada moves out of the line of fire, but unfortunately, barrel-based fish for the players at the back.
It's easy pickings for Alpha 7, but they are right on the edge at the moment, so they'll have to start to pick their moment to head further in. And surprisingly, Sung and Forest are still going, despite the absolute awful experience they had with 7C. They were able to put an end to their 4-man team there, dropping them down low to just 2. Rex off in the distance, not able to support the rest of his team. Alpha 7 crawled from the waters. What?
Okay. There you go. Alpha 7 managed to get the elimination across the way. In the meantime, I believe S2G have managed to get another crate on Kelsey, the last player standing. 5 eliminations for the team after getting that first squad wipe over in Paradise Resort. They have got a healthy tally and a healthy earning from this game already.
We might not get the chicken dinner, but we will get those match rewards. And honestly, with the amount of money that's been pumped into every single one of these matches, you know, you take that cash where you can. And I fully respect S2G for playing the game they did here. Shifu.
Ooh, close auto shotty in hand. Powerful has the UMP, but neither of them going to shoot off rounds aimed at either. Lord is traded off Deadeye's guys, though. Managed to find Enigma Galaxy as Ralph falls as well. Proving to be a little bit tricksy. Aladdin close to Zuxi. Oh, he knows. He knows. Oh, he knows. And he is going to shut it down. Liquid. Genfos at the back. Still crawling in. Should try and get a little bit closer here, but the blue zone will tick away. Aladdin repositions as 7C hold out the east side of Hudson.
That could have been very bad there. Alpha 7 able to shut down Dan1 Kia. Just came out of the water very, very speedily. Falcons, though, still in this, despite having a rough start towards the end of this game. They're going to have to maybe bring this one back.
Circle finally centers landward, as we will be spared the swimming antics that S2G have been operating under so far. Deadeye's guys, Molotov onto Powerful, eliminates Team Falcons. On that northwestern side there, you can see just picking up the pieces for Deadeye's guys, bring themselves back up to their 3 total players that they have remaining after the res.
Liquid swings past, bops his teammate on the head, you know. Get back in the game. We've got to win this one. Keep your wits about you. Alpha 7, though, swam across. 4 players still alive, John. They have done some absolute magic in terms of survival. Scout, though, 5 eliminations so far. 4, 7C. I think Scout has an idea of where these players are. And Alpha 7 now have to make a long trudge over towards 7C's compound. Great smoke walls. This has been a classic move coming through from Alpha 7 throughout both days of the Afterparty Showdown.
For the position that Vampire Esports have held, the fact that they have no limbs surprises me. I feel like they've been close to conflict for the last 10 minutes or so, but it seems like they just haven't opted to go in for these direct fights. They've been playing quite passively, and now the circle moves towards them on the south side shift.
Well, you remember the northwest side, all the teams who have fought over there have lost 1 or 2 players or are completely out of the game entirely. And they've decided to wait and bide their time, swing down towards the south side after this circle centers up just a little bit. And this is going to work out really well for Vampire Esports.
Nade over towards Alpha 7. Mafioso taken down.
Kelsey
for S2G manages to get to land. I mean, this is what loot crates can do for you, right? That's what the airdrops are there for. Get that Gilly in, and especially on Sanhok, could prove to be absolutely crucial. Mythic forwards to Mafioso. Scout suppressed on the roofline. And they will have to reposition, push further into Hut-In.
Kelsey spotted by Carrillo. They do not let any gunshots go. Very much on the swivel now. Kelsey's in an awkward scenario. 21 players left here. 7C still with 4. Unfortunately, Bigetron did take a knock there. But now Vampire Esports starting to spread their arms here in the circle, spread their influence.
The darkness swells, hopefully, for Vampire Esports in Hut-In. Nades still pouring in towards Alpha 7, but 7C, they're moving into the back of the push for Bigetron. Now crunched between Vampire Esports and 7C. Aladdin falls back as there's answers from the barrels of Bigetron. Spray? Maybe? No. Turned around. Shut down. Mythic keeps them alive. Alpha 7 eliminate S2G.
Goodness me, Mythic has been unbelievable with these spray transfers because you know he's waiting for the money transfers back to his bank account, so he has to make them good. There's no way that anyone's getting behind this team with this player with Alpha 7. Stalwart, though, do take down Revo, and they're in a rough scenario at this moment. They're not quite in the zone yet, and it has been absolutely unbelievable that they've been able to get this far in the first place.
Liquid 1 versus 4 on the push against 7C. Repositions, new side of the warehouse. Do 7C know that he's made this position, made this push? Looks like they're still nading on the left stanchion, but in comes Scout. Looks to be the front man. Pushes into the position that they think he's in. He turns around the side. Liquid needs to get a knock or 2 as it is getting suppressed from the sidelines. 7C losing players on the off angle, and Liquid repositions yet again. Aladdin wants to go for the push, but Surround excellently executed, but Madman's down. Can 7C pick up the pieces?
Should be able to get this player back up and moving. They're still in the zone. Stalwart, Pika takes down Joker. And Stalwart have been very quiet during this map, but still have 3 players. But it's Scry who goes down. And Alpha 7, how have they got in once again? They just escape death from time to time, but now just Mafioso left alive.
They are the survivors here. 8 eliminations, tying up with 7C on 8 as well. But you're right, it is only Mafioso with so much to do and a long way. Looking their way, Stalwart as well, putting that lead right down range. And Mafioso trying best not to eat it for lunch.
Vampires, they know where the shade is from the blue, and you'd expect it to be so. As it moves down towards their position, Stalwart's still ahead of them. They've not had to do too much at all, and they're starting to get some eliminations, 2 so far, but it's that 10K that they're looking for this game.
If Alpha 7 can take down 7C, or, well, I'll stop that sentence right, because that is going to even elimination points. If 7C go down right now, could potentially be a little bit tricky on the tiebreak for most eliminations, but Stalwart, they're suffering. In comes Vampire, pushing on through. They want the 10K chicken dinner. They want that money. And who can blame champions of the PMWI here at the Afterparty Showdown. And Spray corner Scout can't quite win out the fight against Pika. Pika's just a little bit too on the ball, but Sarang has the lead, has the angle. out potential to get res, but Ravenclaw might have something to say about it.
This is so rough here. It's very, very... And delay the fight, but Scout gets taken down. Now just Sarang and Aladdin, but Fluka with the DBS in hand.
What are you going to do against Dubig Shotgun? Pushes on in, no Sarang out of the building. Aladdin down, one player left. They know exactly where he is. 7C to fall under the gaze of Vampire Esports, taking the chicken dinner on Sanhok.
Vampire Esports, they may have been slow in the beginning like a turtle, but towards the end with the DBS, they were showing the shells. 2-7C, they're out of it, and Vampire Esports will take home the chicken dinner and the 10K for that one. Beautiful stuff overall. You love to see it. They were just seeing the future, man.
Absolutely, and Alpha 7 staying in. Terrible.
Yeah.
That was uphill slightly, but to be fair, rock bottom only has upwards trajectories.
Yeah.
1,000 from the main event. Sitting on.
Yeah, no, 500,000 now you get that like pocket money. It's fine.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was you talking about this, Max, actually. The Vampire Esports, they went into this event the second.
Two of the
That's what I
greatest
said.
teams, as Jason. This entire segment. Hatton area during all.
Team for Team Falcons here, they're playing like games too. So Falcons, happy to see them act.
It's in that loss.
Bring that same talent for doing Kalaris.
Do you not think?
No, I'm really sorry.
Oh, well.
Do you want a basketball fact?
I would love a basketball fact right now.
Need to do any voiceover work, you could just hire Kalaris to do it for you, but I don't really think you bring that same talent for doing Kalaris.
Do you not think?
No, I'm really sorry.
Oh, well.
Do you want a basketball fact?
I would love a basketball fact right now.
Okay, so there was an interviewer who went to a high school game in America, and on the first try of sending the basket in, first take by the way, got it in, and then all the people, all the staff at that high school event took him out for dinner, and he had a great time.
And everybody clapped.
And everybody clapped. You can find the video online.
What if I can't?
Well, then, you know, you message me and I direct you in the location. Whoa, okay, Alpha 7. Dear me. I'll direct your focus now to the Afterparty Showdown, most eliminations and highest damage. Alpha 7, it's all them all day, every day.
I mean, nothing really stopping them at this stage. What was it, 70K so far in earnings?
Rubbish headshots, though.
Oh, I thought you meant the pictures. I was like, what, you're being so mean for?
No, they're just rubbish at headshots. That's all.
No, I see what you mean there. I do see what you mean. Although, wasn't it an Alpha 7 player at the top?
It was Mythic, but they didn't have all three up there, so I'm disappointed.
Oh, okay, that's fair. And they need way more Nadalims than that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, two's like one
sucks.
less than the top guy. Oh.
Rubbish. Appalling.
Unfortunately, we still have the very charismatic Damar here, 343 meters, which we're all happy about. Unfortunately, A7 are not so happy, but you got to love the smile on Damar. What a cool guy. He was always smiling on stage, you know, as well. He looks like a really sweet guy. I saw him down the player lounge, and he just looked extremely happy. And I think that's how everyone should approach PUBG Mobile.
No, I think great sadness. What do you think?
I think you're wrong.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to go hang with Damar now, because you are bringing bad vibes to these games here on Miramar.
Good vibes only on Miramar for this game. The last of the main 4-player squad games today, match number 6. Of course, we still have the duos game later, so make sure you stick around for that. But if you are sticking around for that, you might as well watch in-game, watch PMWI together in the in-game esports center with your friends to win PMWI special sets. I'm Sean Connery now.
Okay, then. Unbelievable stuff. I like that a lot, yeah. Anyway, if you want to also look good in game, not quite like Sean Connery, more like Indy. Harrison Ford. Everybody knows that guy looks very dapper. You can also look dapper with a PMWI gun skin and outfit. So those packages for PMWI are on sale for only a limited time, so grab them whilst you can. And you can also win yourself some PMWI treasure chests if you play PUBG Mobile during the PMWI, which you should all be doing. Because right now, these games are getting me fired up, hyped up to play some matches over on Miramar, over on Erangel, even Sanhok, Karakin, Livik. We've got it all here today over on the Afterparty Showdown, as well as tomorrow. So make sure you remain tuning in.
I've got a question for you, Blaine.
Okay.
If you had to do an impression of one of the other talent,
Tell me what you really think about me.
can't be me,
Okay.
who would it be?
Who would I do an impression? Ooh.
I'll put you on the spot here.
Well, Max, actually, because, you know,
Do you think?
the producer, Addy, who is a beautiful, lovely guy, reminded me that at the start of the day for me, I did a great Max Extreme impression, so I probably would do Max.
That's fair.
Yeah. Common Tapple 2.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh.
Savla.
I didn't think it could get worse. I didn't think it could get worse.
Com 7C Com Sa.
That wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
That was uphill slightly, but to be fair, rock bottom only has upwards trajectories.
Yeah. It's kind of my French is not great, unfortunately.
Tu
Sadly.
ne parles pas français?
Je ne pas parler français. Je parle en français un peu.
Oh. Habla español?
No.
That's still French.
No, Addy, I cannot speak German either.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah, I've got all, I know this is a multi-language stream. Unfortunately, I'll have to keep it to English because it's the only one I can do justice. If I start doing other languages, I will have people shouting at me in Instagram or all over. You know, they'll be very angry.
Oh dear. Madman on the road, cut across by Kato, but Sarang's there for the backup. It's a three-way engagement on the positions here for 7C versus Rad. Looks like no one's really going down just yet. No one quite landing those shots, but Rex cut off from the rest of the squad.
Oh, and also shots taken from Madman. Not happy about this one. The MIDI 14 comes into effect with a big result.
Here you go. Here's a fact. Another European language, albeit a dead one. Rex in Latin means king.
Well, good for him. 7C, though, Sarang continues to harangue Rad over here. Kaito comes in. There's a nade that comes through. I think both players had the same idea there. First aid kit. I don't think you need it right now, laddie. Maybe later, though.
Kaito losing the teammate. 7C managed to get that first elimination bounty as well. A swift 2K. Looking for a little bit more than that as well. They want the squad wipe. Kato goes down. Madman able to find it flush from Sarang. 7C moving as a unit. 2 players left for Rad.
Yeah, looking a lot more confident as we head into the latter half of the day here. You love to see it. There's the earnings on the screen. Alpha 7 firmly at the top with 70k. Ooh. You got the A7 and the 70k in the bank. I know that makes 7 Worlds Gaming happy to see. S2G underneath 159k. I mean, those guys, though, they've kind of been scrounging some money where they can, and I respect it, man. I respect it big time. You know, if you can't take the chicken dinner, take what you can elsewhere.
I mean, S2G, yeah, right. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what
Big
I said.
Gaming. Yeah, that's what I was yeah, just
that's what you're saying.
I was emphasizing your point.
Are you also saying that?
Sorry, who are you?
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
They let you in? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they do. I don't know where you've come from.
Apparently I'm a timeless entity. That's what I've been told.
Right, anyway, at the game, 7C moving down. Circle's already hitting. Absolutely, we have to remind you all at home that these games are accelerated. We want the pace of these games to be fast, quick, and action-packed, which is exactly why we're doing this. Teams will have to make their way into the circles pronto. Los Leones on the western side do have Deadeye's guys, and all the teams didn't have a lot of time to loot up, but there is a fair few decent paths of rotation to get into this one. A few of them using the eastern roads. That's R8 who are still making their way down. D77 though, he is a bit far out. He's still in El Azahar. The rest of this team, you know, asking him if he can hurry up just a little bit.
On the back foot, maybe. Hopefully boosters on the cards for Mafioso. We'll need to heal up. You can see he's got one energy drink there in the pocket and a little bit of a booster there still on the bar. You can see. Still in the first phase though, so might need to get a little bit more, and they're still a way out. 3 first aid kits though, they will be absolutely fine. It's still early circles. Western side looking a little bit more open than the east right now, though Enigma Galaxy do have that west road on lock. The closest engagement, I think you can see right in the middle there, just near power grid on the south side, Stalwart and 7C. Very, very close to one another.
Yeah, one of the players there rotating. Rod's in front of A7, Revo immediately spots this and careens off to the right-hand side. So that drops out for just a second, maybe to take some shots, but decides against it, realizes, you know, they're just in as much trouble as Alpha 7 is right now, trying to get into the zone itself. But we are heading down towards Chumacera right now. Enigma Galaxy rotating dangerously close to Damwon Kia. Not actually taking any shots as of yet. I think both these teams concerned with their own well-being, and this is a gentleman's agreement that we shall ride into the zone itself. I take it back. Lord, you are a very naughty man. This is not how this is meant to go down.
That's against the code, unfortunately. But fortunately enough, doesn't actually manage to land too many shots. Doesn't really do too much to slow things down. Just diverts course slightly. Looks like Rada still on the warpath. I mean, they didn't get the memo that the duos game is next game. They are going to be playing with 2. Sung in a flaming car right now. We'll have to try and regroup. Just keeping himself nice and warm. You know, warming the hands at the fire. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a happy time there. I mean, he will have to get that vehicle soon because it does have a bit of a time limit on it. S2G rocking up to Deadeye's guys. Silas will be tossing a grenade soon. Takes a couple of shots. I'll have to put that pin back in it.
Shifu needs to have an impact from the off angle here. It is outnumbered right now for the Deadeye's guys on their current position. Turulov around the side there, trying to keep this angle suppressed. Beautifully found there, an off angle for Joker at the back there, all the way across the way, nearly shut down, but still up, still kicking, and still pumping out lead. S2G falter on their push.
5K bounty is still here, John. No team eliminations have come through as of yet. Sadat just drops out and lays Scry low there.
Knock found, actually, over onto Chari, who will have to drop down. I think Vampire Esports weren't too far away from this. Raze knows where Shifu is now. Drops the smoke, stops the push up the ridgeline, seeing him on that angle. A nade over from Silas. Still not quite under the watchful gaze of Shifu. Swings around the side. Repositions the buggy, potentially a little bit of cover there. But are S2G wanted to go for this, or are they disengaging?
Really sparse on loot at the moment. S2G, if you took a quick peek at their meds, you can see right there, bandages, 1 painkiller, 1 energy drink. It's really rough in terms of stims as well as medical supplies. This would be a fight that would be nice to win, just to, you know, steal some equipment off the enemy team. But I think right now, Deadeye's guys are certainly outlasting S2G. Move just a bit further into the zone here so they can keep this fight going for a little bit longer. Circle heads back up towards Picardo. Stalwart a little bit unhappy with this one though after losing Scry there.
This is this engagement right on the eastern side of the next circle. Raze not quite finding those angles. That was the first airdrop collected. Did you catch who it was? I was focused on the engagement.
I did. Yeah.
Who was it?
I gave him a little golf clap as well as Ralph picked himself up. A nice little airdrop. That's on the western side of the map, directly opposed to this engagement here, which is right on the eastern edge. R8 are moving in through the northern side of this engagement. I wonder if we're going to have the back and forth between R8 taking down S2G, S2G taking down R8. Could be amusing, but it looks like R8 are more prioritizing getting into the circle itself here.
Kelsey on the roof. Covered, actually. I think this is a pretty good spot for Kelsey. The way up to the roof is covered by his two teammates, meaning that if you push up, you need to deal with Silas, you need to deal with Raze first. Either that, or you just win out those trades hands down. Ooh, potentially able to bobble a little smoke there onto the stairs to push on up. They know Kelsey's up there, but they can't quite get there yet. And it's not going to be super easy to make that push unless you can get a little bit of a squeaky, cheeky play done.
Yeah, they're kind of locked in this fight now, though, with Kelsey on the top side. It's going to be difficult to get him down without completing that fight. You can see already the blue has made its way over to the circle, so it is not waiting around for any of these teams. It is go time. Next circle about to hit, heads down towards Alpha 7. Looking to pack another chicken dinner into that backpack of theirs. And honestly, they're going to need a level 3 at this rate because they have had so many.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be one each if they can take this one home. Lovely nade onto Raze. This is what we were talking about before. The openings that need to be found in order to get up towards Kelsey. Silas laid bare, somehow dodging through the hailstorm of bullets. Staying alive for the time being. Hang on a minute. Who's this? Someone else coming into the engagement potentially? No. Shifu does get spotted. Kelsey shooting on down. That's where the bullets were coming from. Now they're looking to try and mount up this pressure. Nades potentially popping out through the windows. Kelsey trying to swerve around the side. And Silas still going out in the open.
I mean, they're not making it easy for Deadeye's guys. I'll tell you that now. Kelsey, though, with the UMP. Continues to send Deadeye's guys further down. At some point, Deadeye's guys will have to leave. Kelsey can almost sacrifice himself here for the greater good so that potentially Silas is able to leave.
Maybe trying to look for another way, but seems like the only one that's going to work on out. Deadeye's guys really getting slowed down here. Trying to evacuate their location. Kelsey takes a nade, and that is the end of the Castle King at the top of the building. Los Leones must be left now. Silas still alive, but on the northern side and alone for S2G.
Yeah, there's your sacrifice made by Kelsey. Silas drops him in the salute. He starts to run away here, but he has locked them down. Stalwart, Pika, top, action. Still in this one. They're only lost Scry earlier on, so 3 players still up here, ready to go. You can see Alpha 7 off in the distance, but they're very central. They'll be waiting this game out. Damar, nice shots down towards Aladdin.
Nicely found. Shots to the back of Scout. Coming in, potentially a third party. I think that might have been R8 potentially chiming in, or maybe even Rod. But 7C suffering heavily right next to Stalwart. That is not the place where you want to take a couple of unfortunate knocks. And that is the end of Stalwart. A nice nade over the top. Oh, it was Vampire Esports who chimed in onto Scout. Look at the number of teams that just got those limbs onto 7C as we tune on in with R8 and Falcons.
Yeah, Bandai got knocked on the approach from Yusuf with a very nice nade here. Falcons only have 2 players, but so far they are sending this 4-man unit back. Yusuf keeps popping down the stairs. They're very low HP, not really having opportunities to heal off. As of yet, you can see Prestige tries to pop the first aid, but it's just too little too late. And now Never Alone, the clutch maestro, hits one.
You can't jump those gaps when Never Alone is on the case. Unfortunately, the blue zone is too much to handle. And R8, with 1 player left, are still going, but they lose that swiftly. Vampire Esports take them down, and now just Yusuf is there. I don't think you can res in this zone. Yusuf just needs to heal, if he can.
Ooh, Vampire Esports and Alpha 7. They've been going at it with the fisticuffs at the moment in these games. Coming off Vikendi, where it was one or the other there to get the chicken dinner. And now they're both inside this circle. It could go either way depending on the next shift. But Enigma Galaxy, they're in already. Revo goes down to Lord.
Excellent find through the doorway. Lord up to the wall. Will be able to get this first aid off. Closes the door. Stops that vision. Nicely opened onto the engagement. Revo smoked out. Mythic wants to try and get his teammate to safety, but you can't make that break. Not yet. Not until you get an off angle. Not until you can suppress the position for Enigma Galaxy.
Hits Revo very hard there with the grenade, and it's unlikely to get their boy back up again. Now Alpha 7 once more down to 3. Enigma Galaxy causing huge problems. Vampire Esports have problems of their own though. As down one Kia swoop into the compound underneath them on the south side of the circle itself. But they'll have to cross the road, so it's really interesting. There's 3 very good compounds inside this circle, but all depends on this next shift where it goes, especially with the crossroads right here. How do you get across these open zones?
It's brutal. Open ground. A couple of ridges to play around, but the speed at which you can traverse them super, super low. Rod try and crash straight on in, and it's all going to be a part of the seams, but finally they stitch it back together. Fortunately, there's an off angle for top, and they will be able to stay in with 3.
That's the kind of response time you want from your teammate. The enemy team falls, and just as that happens, action rolls up, and the buggy is immediately getting you back up on your feet. In this case, you don't get a rest playing with Stalwart. You are constantly in the game.
Fortunately, Stalwart now drawing attention. Vampire Esports sending shots their way. I think that was shots coming through from Bigetron. Really, really far away there. And shots from Alpha 7 as well. Schweppes taken down a peg. Hopefully Vampire Esports can get that one back up. Here's a replay of the crash that came through from Rod. Pika does go down, but it is that angle from top.
Yeah, action was coming in hot there. He had the sirens on and everything. A little bit unfortunate for Vampire Esports. They do push out just a little bit, but now it's time to recoalesce. This is a fantastic shift for them. And down one Kia's compound's just about out. It will give them some survival time. Turulov looking to hold on here. Last member of his team for Deadeye's guys, but surrounded by the aliens.
Bigetron with Genforce trying to pop a nade in. A little bit left on that nade, but might do the job. Just a slimmer HP left. But they know where he is now. Genforce pushes up to the vehicle, takes it away. Bandages, only the 1 for Turulov. It's not great.
He's going to be really struggling. Just try to get as many points as possible for himself. Now Alpha 7 will have to deal with the rest of Nigma Galaxy. They're ahead of them here in their rotational path. Stacked though. Good smokes. Once again, the train comes through. And they're looking to move through the steam here and start somewhat strong for themselves. Molotov out the window will prevent the push-up just a little bit. And with the confusion laid bare by the smokes, that was a nice nade. Starts things off strong. A7 heavily injured now.
Bigetron will eliminate the Deadeye's guys, but in goes that push. Carrillo in the corner. Mythic and Mafioso trying to give any sort of support that they can.
Ooh.
Lord takes a little bit of damage from a nade around the side. Carrillo up the stairs. A little bit of respite, a little bit of safety. Trying to blow the doors off the hinges as Ralph goes down first, bringing the numbers even so far. Mafioso, though, is going to get traded off. The flush is good, but Carrillo's there, caught with nade in hand. The push comes through from Momodi, and he's allowed to sneak through the gaps. Only 1 player now for Alpha 7, and they know where he is. It's Carrillo up the stairs, potentially looking to get this res if the doors are going to keep that cover going, but Carrillo opts instead to pop that Molotov down and give themselves a little bit more cover.
That was an insanely fast molly he brought out. He knew exactly what he had to do in that moment, but he tries to move out the building. But it's BTR. Genforce comes out of nowhere. They've moved upon this position, and Nigma Galaxy are just completely trapped.
But BTR have moved up to this position. They've given ground to Vampire Esports, who have now got the lion's share of this next circle.
I mean, they've been here for such a long time, John. It's been very difficult for them not to take all this space, but they're starting to push out. Ooh. Once again, the cloak of the Vampire starts to envelop the rest of these teams. It's a question of whether they can continue to dominate in the circle. Lord's still alive, though.
They're controlling Damwon Kia on the south side of the road. They are moving into position to block out Bigetron. With Genforce down already, they're locked in this engagement. The ridge lines are so bare, so barren for them on this Miramar. And Vampire Esports control the circle. They control the quadrant. They're gonna have another chance to take home another 10K.
This will be beautiful stuff for them. They'll be happy with the money that they've earned. They've got a fair few team eliminations as well, so there's potential for even more cash on the line for them. Beautiful nade from Song, though, from Damwon Kia.
And another.
3 players still going.
Oh, didn't quite find anything else there. The res should be possible over onto Ravenclaw. Song, you imagine, doesn't have too much more in the back pocket in terms of utility. And maybe even then wants to save it.
Oh, dear.
Bigetron regrouping. Zuxi spotted. They will not be able to move forward with more than 3.
They take their chances there as well. I love that from BTR. They hear the third party. instantly wrap around and try and surround them from both teams' side, understanding that Damwon Kia is over towards the south. They'll take the north, and now Vampire Esports are going to have to play out their mind as a 4 to prevent these teams from just starting to crush them between two walls of players.
They need to take one of these fights or certainly win it out as fast as possible. The nades continue to just bobble over the top of the roadside from Damwon Kia. Unfortunately for them, the blue zone is pushing. They will have to move. The smoke wall has been established. They will push through. Frontman Sung looking to try and draw some fire potentially, try and allow those teammates to refrag. Jumping in, trying to gather info. The smoke starts to clear. Vampire Esports have clear rain. Across with the car. Fabian careens across the side. Sung taken down on the first push. Fabian low as well. Should be handled. Now they need to turn their attention to the last player from Damwon Kia. Trying to get across. It's looking hairy. It's looking ropey. And I don't think they're going to be able to do too much more. Forrest finally dealt with. Schweppes did go down in the meantime. What can BTR do?
Really good smokes coming out from Vampire Esports to isolate that fight between them and Damwon Kia.
Big.
Another nade, though, onto Ravenclaw, and now it's 2 versus BTR, but there's 2 down! How does this happen? Just Luxy alive!
Last player going in. Fluketh 1 versus 1 against Luxy from BTR. One of the longest standing members on this roster. Made the name for Bigetron. They've been dodging the money all day, all tournament at this Afterparty Showdown. Is now the time that they take that 10K. A nade pours in over the top. The reses are coming through, and they are denied yet again. Vampire Esports take the 10.
Quick on the swivel, quick on the game, and quick on the decisions coming through from Vampire Esports in those final moments. It was very, very difficult. You know, it felt one of those stressful situations where you're in an escape room, you see both the walls start to close, and you have to figure out a solution in that moment. And you know, Stoned, the rest of the team, they had a solution in the back pocket. They've trained for this exact moment.
Certainly did.
Dinners, they don't really come your way as often.
Yeah, to play with, but it's not happened here throughout the day really for them, to be honest, so it's difficult.
Okay, well, we do have a minute and 20 left. Remember, that was our last when it comes to squads. We're going to be heading over to duos in our show match here.
That's right. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Obviously, we saw Stalwart not have the best of starts in the duos today, but yesterday was great for them. Keen to see what great for them. Keen to
Matt, one more to play today. Thank you very much, Jason. We're going to be throwing it back to the best for last later on after this game, as we do head back to the desk afterwards. So, very well said. Thank you very much.
What about Jason comes in here, all hype, having a great time, and then you pick up with the most chillest little throw to the game, which is fair play, because we're heading over to Livik. It's duos. You want these teams and these players to be chilled out. You know, they've got to have their wits about them. They've got to be cool, collected coming into Livik, because this is a map where you really, really do have to be on a swivel. You have to be swinging on a dime if you want to make sure that you want to live to the end and earn that dime with the match rewards for the duos. The best duo.
But all we hear is Radio Livik. Radio Crabgrass.
All right. I like that a lot.
I thought of that. I needed to say it. I've said it now. We can move on.
Well, let's kill the radio star and get right back to the video, because we're here in game. Keep your eyes peeled on this screen, because you're about to watch it pop off here on Livik. Revo's out. He sent it. Look how fast this guy is in the parachute. I swear this guy's got rocket-propelled boots on at the same time, which is going to take off when he hits land. You know, it's not quite the same as ice skates on Karakin. Doesn't help you as much, in my opinion.
He's moving like Martin in the pool. I don't know if you saw Martin swim the other day. Yeah, it's like a seal.
Like a seal?
Yeah, cuts through the water. Nimble, agile.
Yeah, he is like a motorboat. He's fast. He's speedy.
No, that's 7.
What, 7?
Don't know what all the bubbles are behind him, but he goes quickly.
He does. That is true. You know, I feel like he's cheating somehow, but we're not sure. I do see him eating a lot of that cabbage in the hotel dinner, though, so I might be having something to do with it, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, straight back over to Livik. We get our first circle, heads down towards power plant already. We've got Damwon Kia over here with that big shotgun that we have seen them use before. The DBS comes in clutch for them. I think that, they practically stuck around power plant for the majority of this time. R8, though, here over at this beautiful place in the map with a waterfall in the background. It's happy days overall, and it'll be even happier days if you participate in the PMWI Watch Together with us. We love that you are hanging out with us here on the English stream or any of the other streams as well. Just make sure you are watching together with us in-game over at that esports center with your friends if you want. Get as many people involved as possible, and you could win some of those coveted PMWI special sets.
And if you want a gun skin or an outfit, then you know what? You're in luck, because PMWI packages are on sale for a limited time. And you can also win PMWI treasure crates if you play PUBG Mobile during PMWI.
That's right, and only one more day to do that, so get cracking, get a move on, get in game, grab those chicken dinners, absolutely dominate the competition, or just play and get taken down early like this. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you're in the game. Powerful already down to Revo. Alpha 7 not looking to lose their top spot in either of these things, either in the duos or over on the match reward and earnings in the main tournament of the Afterparty Showdown.
Bad news bears for Team Falcons. Still one player to go though, Yusuf, trucking along. Will be solo from now on in. There's the M1014 on the back of Carrillo, the auto shotgun replacement. I mean, it's still the big shotgun, but it isn't quite the same.
The long shotgun. That's the one.
Sure. Flukuth with one of his own shotguns in hand, chasing R8 ESPORTS up the stairs, nade down the bottom of the staircase, drops down himself as well, tries to evade the damage, and maybe giving Vampire the old slip, but the spray with the UMP will give the game away. Ravenclaw around the side, Scar in hand. Player up the top as well, P90 as well there. Around the door frame, good for one. ESPORTS needs to be aware that there's a player dropped out, and he'll find the bullets hitting the back. Prestige in the meantime got dealt with, I don't know who by, but chased back up, and he's given them the old ropey-dope. It's R8.
Okay then, ESPORTS, the grenade sails over the top of his head, but R8 will anchor the run here for Vampire Esports in the show match right at the beginning of the game. We're down to 11 teams already, but Stalwart, they picked up the scent. They smell the action over off in the distance, not the action on their team. They don't spend much time sniffing him, but he's definitely doing the work for them.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, look, I had to clarify,
You bad man.
Look, I clarified. Stalwart, they know where the action is at all times. I need to get away from saying action alongside with Stalwart because that player causes problems for me.
Tell you what else causes problems is ESPORTS. I mean, this was fast. This was good movement coming through from ESPORTS. You love to see it. I like this push back because he'd been running around in circles the whole time. He completely caught Vampire Esports off guard, right, on that push back. It's the first time he'd done it, and at a crucial time.
Yeah, I mean, he checks his fitness watch. He's done his 10,000 steps for the day. He was up and down those stairs like a shot. So, I'd hope for him and Prestige, they chill out for a little bit now. They are towards the center, so they don't have to do too much more walking in these final moments of day 2 for the Afterparty Showdown. We are again here in the show match. Just to remind you, we're playing duos at the moment to figure out just who is the deadliest duo of them all here in the Afterparty Showdown. There is money on the line as well for these teams for the points at the top. We'll figure all that out tomorrow in our final show match on day 3.
We've got to get some of these thumb socks.
We do.
I keep feeling so jealous of all of these players when I see those thumb socks on.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've got those slippy fingers. Sometimes I'll go for a spray and whoop, I'm over just looking 180 degrees behind me. It's very unfortunate. But that does sometimes cause massive surprise to the enemy team. They're unsure whether to take shots at me or not because they're like, is this guy AFK? Do I take shots? is this allowed?
Nobody
Is
knows.
it ethical? And then whip, I'm around like a shot, and I find the team wipe. It is my classic move when I play here on Livik.
Oh no, I am just a helpless little player.
That's right. You've seen me in game.
Blast him.
I like to deceive the opponents.
That's right. Throw them for a loop.
That's for sure. And deceiving, misdirection. That's what it's all about here for the magicians of Alpha 7, who have been doing some incredible work today. And I've said multiple times where, there's no chance that Alpha 7 is getting back to the circle. I look back round again, it's Houdini staring me in the eyes as Alpha 7's found their way into the circle and found some damage onto the enemy teams. Damwon Kia, though, in power plant, stamping the mark here.
I beg your pardon. Damwon Kia just spraying it down like it ain't no thing. Kelsey takes the knee, takes the L, not down fully just yet, but Silas quite a way away from it to regroup. Really can't be going for this wide of a split when you know there's players this close, unless you know you're going for that full engage. Silas hopping around, trying to back it up, but you've got to expect he's going solo from now on.
I think for Damwon Kia here in power plant, they really do have to bring the energy from the midst of the turbines, because honestly, there are so many angles you can take around here. You have to full commit to this position. Silas has moved in here because he has no choice, really. He's got to hide. He's got to remain tucked away so no other teams can find him. I don't think Damwon Kia is even aware of his presence. Kelsey has gone down, though, so he is all on his lonesome.
There's a Scar and a shotgun on the back.
That
Fairly
long
decent.
shotgun.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right, man.
That's right. Good in these close range engagements. I mean, you're looking at level 3 helmet, level 3 vest, so still a force to be reckoned with is our Silas here. We've seen him do so much work in general, S2G. Still a long way to go, though. Still with 11 teams in it. Vampire Esports, the only team to take both the Ls so far, going down to R8.
I mean, Silas, a veteran on a lot of these Turkish teams, going way back towards Class Digital Athletics and even before that as well. And even there, he was popping off all the time. It's nice to see him finding some good success here on S2G. And he's surrounded by pretty damn good teammates actually as well. So it's very fun for me to watch. And check back in with players that maybe I don't commentate all the time. BTR, on the other hand, we definitely have a very, very fond relationship with this team, considering, they were around right when we started.
You're not Santa. What are you doing, Joker?
Yeah, that's not okay. And I don't think you're going to be gifting anything out other than a nade in the mouth, which no one wants. And honestly, look, it's not okay to be in that chimney because I'm pretty sure you're now stuck. I've decided it.
Well, you're certainly not allowed to get out of there.
It's been decreed.
And even if he is Santa, he hasn't given me any presents.
Exactly.
So what's going on?
Maybe
Sort it out.
Maybe that's why he's a Joker, He comes in with a jest, says he's Santa, rips off the outfit, he's wearing a jester outfit underneath. You get a bag of coals, you go on your way. But Deadeye's guys, they want a few more points, honestly, here in the duos. I've been actually quite impressed with Deadeye's guys. I think Chari's had some good moments, and it's nice to see On Top coming through into Deadeye's guys. Has done some fantastic work over in the South Asia region.
Seems like 7C and Rada having quite a few clashes, quite a few conflicts in these last couple of matches, and that will continue as Scout takes down a player for himself, bags the point, pops it into the bank.
Everyone was not happy with Scout, other than everyone at home, including us.
Everyone disliked this.
About that scouting play. Insane shots, though. He made it happen. Took Stalwart completely by surprise. Maybe looking to do similar here, but it's Alpha 7 with a ghillie suit in the grass.
Ooh.
That's going to be one sneaky fellow.
Oh, I don't think long's going to last too long here. Last player for Stalwart. Bang, bang. He's out of it. Out of the park. Enigma Galaxy picking up the point. 2 eliminations for Enigma Galaxy. Hamodi and Lord will keep on going. Stalwart, not so lucky.
Picks up the loot there instantly. That's a John type of play.
What the hell, man?
Slurping up the loot.
Can't believe you do this to
Not
me.
letting anyone else get involved.
Look, I really need a 3x.
That is fair play, honestly.
Dude, you just don't understand.
3 elims here, though, for R8. Really, really well done. You know, they're still going. They've got a slight split going on at the moment, just looking out towards their south. Now they're going to have to start to pay some attention up towards this northwest side. BTR will also have to move. Down 1 Kia, they've not moved a muscle. Looking at their fitness watch, on the other hand, there are 0 steps. So, I mean, maybe they need to get a move on, just a touch. But honestly, for them, sitting here all day long works out.
Certainly would, but how else are you going to burn off the chicken dinner, you know?
Maybe they don't have to. You just enjoy that chicken dinner.
That is true. I mean, I've got the metabolism that I've had for so far my whole life.
Yeah,
It's
you
still
have
going
the-
quite well for me.
You have a metabolism of raging furnace. I'm not sure. Like,
good.
The food goes in, and then it disappears. So I don't know how you make that happen for
It's
me.
fueling this giga brain of mine.
Fueling the giga brain. I will agree with that. That is fair play. I don't have the same luxuries, unfortunately, but I do enjoy myself a nice chicken dinner from time to time. Silas, though, drops around the side. The long shotgun working out fantastically. There is another big gun over that side for BTR, but Silas immediately disengage.
Pulls it back, pops the nade. Luxy not going to be able to get teammate back up, and low HP there. You have to wonder, does he have the meds? Okay, yep, did manage to get that first aid off. M to 4-9 back in hand. Instead pops the nade in. Might be good if Silas stays where he is.
It's one long barrel against the next. See who comes out on top. Next circle shift down towards power plant. Down 1 Kia. Absolutely laughing right now. This has worked out fantastically in their favor. Again, not really able to take too many shots up towards the little cliff sides that run around this area, the ridges. But for them, as long as teams keep coming towards them, they get the onus on these fights. BTR does go down, though.
Unfortunate blank. You know what? I'm going to say it. There's no way that Alpha 7 get into this circle.
You don't say it. They'll prove you wrong. They've
Well,
done it before. They'll do it
That's what I
again.
was hoping for. That's what I was hoping for.
It's all right. Maybe that's the key. We have to doubt them. We must be the sad doubters here on the desk, so that A7 may succeed.
Oh, you doubting Thomas, you.
That's me.
That's us. Doubting Thomases.
Falcons are still going. Yusuf with the ghillie. Pretty good loadout as well. Unfortunately, just the adrenaline and the first aid. Molotov to his side.
Just chilling. Doesn't even move. That's going to make him move.
Ooh, okay.
Oh dear. Nade around the side. Don't those guys try and cross. They're like, oh, loot, loot, loot. Shut down immediately. Hamodi cuts it. A little bit short. Joker is out of the chimney into the frying pan.
Just not something you get to say very often. Alpha 7, though, dropping the smokes, trying to make their way across the road. Start to make the long run. Carrillo moves across. Joker might have seen him here. It is Nick McGalaxy out inside the blue.
Oh.
Carrillo drops some heavy shots towards him.
Oh.
Does make it in.
Those guys finally going down outside the zone. Hamodi still alive. Alpha 7 are there. They have had a little bit of a truck from the blue. Hamodi with a broadside at the back if Silas wants to peek it. But no, it's down 1 gaming. The Arbiter's a power plant.
Down 1 Kia, though, will now have to start making a move here. Pull on the trainers. Start to walk just a little bit. Alpha 7.
There's
will
no
be
way
up.
they make it.
There's no way they make it. In fact, they're in a pretty good spot to make it. They will start to have to make the wrap, but it's SK Tom with a dinner plate, ready to serve up some fresh, hot eliminations over towards A7 if they can make their way round. Revo, the M4, though, very good for long-range sprays.
Time. To be fair, the circles have allowed him to keep on going, but finally down 1 Kia. Remove the thorn from side. And we'll keep it on going. Revo peeks out. Escaton wants those shots. Immediately takes the drop, but Revo knocked out in the open, crawls across in cover. Carrillo is looking for the res, but in goes Prestige. They don't want to allow Alpha 7 to get in any further. The shotgun in hand, the res not there. Molotov around the side to potentially stop that push. Over the top, it will stop. And over the high ground, Carrillo tries to send it. Low HP, needs to find a knock. Prestige is low, but it will be enough. R8 stay in it, and it's 2 versus 2 now, Blank.
The amount of stims in this man's body as well just kept him running for that last moment. Basically, the heart beating on adrenaline alone. Prestige, though, starts to move up, has hit himself with that first aid kit, but now down one Kia. They've been very leisurely, and they're looking for a leisurely win too. Both M4s here. SK-Ton still with the DP. All right, looking to finish strong here on this map.
Slowing things down for the time being. Currently ground, I would say, mostly controlled by R8. That's a really solid Molotov to move SK-Ton off position. Could allow down one Kian some openings, some positioning. The utility, though, that down one Kia still have, phenomenal. They've held inside power plant this whole time. This is the first time they've had to leave. And now they're pulling the pins. Forrest tries to shut Prestige down.
Oh, no.
Chomps down on an 8, and R8, the Saudi Arabian team, try to shut it out, and it's down one Kia to get cut out. R8 take the duo.
And when we talked about that dinner plate there, and they did serve up some fresh hot eliminations, but also, as a side dish, a chicken dinner as well. So very, very well done for R8. At the end of the day here in our final show match of day 2. And R8 finish out strong. SK-Ton, Prestige, they're a deadly duo.
Home turf, seemingly. Great for R8 in these duo matches. We'll see what that does